Hello, I'm Ed Overstreet and welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. This morning I had a pretty good outing. It was uneventful. Fingers crossed. Tonight will be the same. Imaging the sun, and so tonight I've got two telescopes kits set up outside, and I hope that things go good tonight too. But if anything can go wrong, it usually does when I'm live. So if we're going to screw up, let's screw this thing up together, and let me share my screen, and I'll take you outside and show you. It's going to take me a second. There we go. We're logging on. These are the two kits that I'm going to be using. The one on the left is the Stellarvue, and it has an ZWO ASI 1600 monochrome camera, and I'm going to cool to -20. And then this is a Vixen. It's 625 millimeter. It does not have a reducer, so I'll be operating at around 625 millimeter on the Vixen ED81S, and it has the ASI 533 color, one-shot color camera. I've had this for about a year, and I just recently saw some images by a member of our astronomy club that was taken, and I was just so impressed with the colors. I thought, I got to try it. And actually I had regretted after I bought this camera. It stayed in the box, and I don't know about you, but there's big camera gear I bought, and I thought, why did I do that? And I thought it right away. It was a mistake, and I ought to send it back. But I kept it, and I've kept it, and I've kept it. And I finally opened it up, and I had forgotten, but I had added the L Extreme. I didn't forget. I just had no reason to use it. But the L Extreme Optolong dual filter that allows narrowband imaging with the one-shot color camera, specifically the O3 band and the HA band. So last night I imaged for close to 8 hours, 7 hours and change, IC405, which is part of the Flame Nebula, and then it actually has IC410, the tadpole in it, and then I did that with the Vixen. And then simply because its field of view wouldn't take in the entire flame and surrounding nebula. And then with the Stellarvue wide field at 336 millimeters, I got everything in that I wanted framed. So with that being said, let's hope things work out, and let's go to Sequence Generator Pro, which is where we will call that the command center for each of the kits. By the way, underneath this towel there's a platform that connects one pier to the next, and a convenient wall that I can sit on, and these are two laptops, and this laptop is designated for this telescope, and then you can't see it, it's undercover, but the one on the left is designated for the Stellarvue. The telescope on a tripod I use for solar imaging, and only solar imaging, and there's a laptop that I have designated just for that. And that keeps the ports and the COM ports easy to manage and maintain for me, and I hate COM port errors, and I get them all the time when I was using one laptop for all three kits. And so at any rate, I just thought I'd throw that out. So let's head over to Sequence Generator Pro, and in order to do that I need to bring up this is the Stellarvue. It's the one on the left, and at the very top of this page, I don't know if it shows up on your screen, but it has Astro 1, and I know I'm on that particular laptop. I have already cooled to -20. This has the ZWO 1600 mm, and so I'm going to go ahead and let's check and see I'm very low in the sky, but I'm going to go ahead and start imaging. Yeah, the target is right here at 29 degrees altitude, so it's extremely low in the sky, and I'm actually shooting over Spartanburg, the city. A good ways away, but it's still close enough to create the pollution issues, and it messes with the sky. There's no way around it. I'm much better off when I'm in and around the southern meridian because I'm going towards the darker parts of the county, but that's not the case tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and slew with this telescope, and I want to keep the telescopes operating, so we're going to go ahead and click on slew to the target, and I want to bring up the telescope, make sure it's moving. So there it goes. And I trust it's in the area. And now let's center it. And we're going to go through the process of plate solving. And there's very little need now to look at the telescope because the movement of the telescope is hopefully so minute. I hope we're close. I'm going to go ahead and kind of move this over to the side so I can see my stars when they come out. Okay. I'm off a lot. I'm off 1,089 pixels. I'm looking here in RA, and I'm off 52. It should solve it though on the next image. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Plate solving has gotten to be so ridiculously accurate. Ooh, that's pretty. We're going to have to do it again. I spoke too soon. So we're going to recenter. I haven't set the settling time right on either of these kits, and each time it does this I think, as soon as I've plate solved, I'm going to go add about 10 seconds to the settle time, and so that the mount can settle down after these images. And okay, we are now 9 pixels off in RA, and in DEC we're right on target. No need to run that again. So I'm going to click run sequence. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that because it's going to, let's go on, it will start PhD for me, but it's so slow in doing it, I'm going to do it automatically. Okay, I've already started guiding, so my guiding is in operation now. So let's head back to Sequence Generator Pro. I have the sequence set up so that as soon as guiding has been activated, because guiding does pause when you're plate solving, I have it plate solve one more time just to get me even closer if necessary. So it's setting the HA filter. This is the filter over here that's being set up because I'm going to start out running HA. Last night I had 60 images that I took, and I took those in HA, and they're 300 seconds. It was 7 hours and 39 minutes worth of imaging time last night, and I hope to do the same tonight. And so we're taking our first image and we're counting down at 269. So we've done that, and it's now time to go over to the other kit. So I'm going to head over there, and we are already cooled here to -20 degrees, And I have no filter wheel. This is a one-shot color camera. Both of these kits have moonlight focusers, so I'm able to focus. And by the way, let me go back to the other kit. I want to run focus, and it's going to say, do you want to run it on the next frame? And I'll say yes. I meant to run it before I even started. It actually looks pretty good, but pretty good is what I see. The actual focus may not be pretty good. So I trust the equipment more than I trust my eyes. So I'm going to head back over to the other kit, and we're going to head over to, I'm imaging the same target, by the way. So I want to slew over to the target, and I don't want to sleep yet, and we're not parked. So let's bring up our outside camera, and let's make sure, there it goes. This is our Vixen ED81S camera. I apologize, I did not pull up the questions in my streaming software, so if anybody's asking questions, I'll just have to get back with you. I can't answer them live because I failed to bring it up. It occupies so much real estate on my screen. I bring up very few dialog boxes from my streaming software. Okay, we're ready to center now. So we're going to click on center, and it's going to plate solve. And while it's plate solving, we go back outside, and you can see, as you would expect, both of the telescopes they're in the same direction. So hopefully plate solving will be a snap. We're not as far off initially. We're 26 pixels off in RA and 168 pixels off in declination. So we ought to have a solve by the next, and we'll bring up PhD and start guiding. Yep, we're 3 pixels off in RA and 1 pixel off in dec. So we have a great plate solve. Let's bring up PhD. Let's start looping. Let's find a star. I use multi-star guiding, and let's going to locate one, and we're going to start guiding. Right now I'm guiding at 1 second, and the only reason why I am is that last night and the sky scene conditions look almost identical to last night. As I start, last night guiding assistant recommended that I run at around 1 second, and so I did, and my guiding turned out to be pretty decent. Not great. It was right now running at 1.16, 1.12 RMS, but it'll settle down, and it'll be around 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and it goes back and forth most of the night when things are going okay. When things aren't going okay, it goes crazy, and it happens too. So let's go back to our let's go ahead and run our focus. And one thing I noticed about the L Extreme filter, I have to take a real long exposure to get enough stars to run the focus routine, and I had more fails last night trying to get focus running the routine than I've ever had with any other kit that I've used. So I wouldn't be surprised if I don't find myself having to sit through maybe 2 or 3 of these attempts in order to get a pinpoint focus. But it's worth it. It's pointless to take images all night on unfocused stars, so you just spend the time. And look, it's going to already start off crazy. I'm about ready to cancel it. If the next one goes way down, then we'll stay with it, but it's taking another image and it's racking it back in. 80 steps. Okay, and so it's gotten a little better. This is the half flux radius of the stars, and we want as low as we can possibly get. And so when I start this focus routine, my focuser automatically racks back, and it does a couple hundred steps, and then it comes in 80 steps at a time, and each time it should get sharper and sharper, and it's coming in and it's getting sharper and sharper. And I may stay with this, but it should have never, the second image should have never gone up. Right now the quality guesstimate is around 78%, and that's a fail. We can go ahead and let these cameras go to sleep, and it won't bother me anymore. Alright, let's let this run. It'll run again, and it'll run again until I get focus. Let me go back to this other one, and it's starting to run a focus, and this is the way it should go. The first star, it racks back the camera, and it's coming in, and I think the step size for this kit is 60 steps. So it comes in 60 steps, and it takes a picture, and the half flux radius gets better, and then it comes back in another 60 steps, and the HFR gets even better, and we're down now to 1.4, and then it's going to start racking in the other direction, racking in towards it went out, and now it's going in, and it's going to do the same thing, go in about 300 steps, and then it's going to come back 60 steps at a time, and where these two lines intersect, it will calculate that to be the ideal focus point for the given scene conditions. Right now, with the 99% quality estimate, it's saying that my focus should be about 86. My focus should be racked out to 9860 steps, and that would give me a 1.5 HFR, which kind of corresponds to the scene conditions now, as I looked at my weather maps. We're at 9860. See, it's defocusing again, going in the other direction. Now it's saying 9885 with a 99% quality guesstimation. It's going to take one more, probably one more image, and then it's going to validate the routine. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. So right now it'll take a validation. No, it's going to take even another one. We're at 97% at 9884. So it's even going out further. It's defocusing even more. Which is a little unusual. It usually doesn't take this last frame. Looks good to me though. Okay, it's taken a validation exposure at 96% with the 1.7 HFR. It's recommending that this be set at 9878. So over here under control, it's already set the focuser, and it's racking out to 9878. And as soon as it's done, in 4 seconds, then it'll resume taking images. And I will show you the first image that it took. It's closing. It will resume PhD, which has been idle during the focus routine. We're running a dither right now. I'm looking down here in the bottom left, and it's telling me what PhD is doing. And so it's all right. Now we're back to taking our second frame. This is the first frame, and let me stretch this some. Okay, This is a 300-second mono image, and this is the Flame Nebula over here, and this is part of IC410, which is the tadpole, and this region right here is IC405. So the Vixen can't take in this entire field of view. All its imaging is this part right here. Let's go over and see what damage that's done. This seems to be going okay. I'm going to take a look at guiding and see if it's still over 1. It is. It's 162. We just had a crazy dip. Tell you what, we're low in the sky, and my guiding never is great when it's low in the sky, so I think I'm going to bring up EQ mode, and I'm going to I'm tracking it sidereal, and I'm going to add my pet curve, and I'm going to load it. I did one last night, a new pet curve, a periodic error correction curve, and so now I'll be guiding at sidereal plus PEC. I don't know if it can be seen on the screen, and that will help me in RA. Deck, and I'm either polar lined or I'm not. And last night's guiding assistant said that I was 6 arc seconds off in polar alignment. I'll take it. I don't mind being up to 5 arc minutes off in polar alignment. I can manage that, but okay, this is going to help. We're now under 1 at 87, so we'll be okay. But I'm taking 300-second images, so it's got to be 1 or under. And let's head back to the other kit. It did it. At 97%, it says we should be at 12,907. So it's finished, and we can close it, and it's time to run our sequence. We aren't guiding, are we? Let's go back and see. Yeah, we're guiding, and we're at 99. So I may add the pet curve to that too. I ran a pet curve for that last night as well. I run a pet curve about every 3 or 4 times I'm out, because I can do it while I'm imaging. EQ Mod is just awesome software, and it's now replate solving for me, because we know we're on the target, but a lot's happened, and there could have been drift while we were going through that pretty long period of focusing, because it shuts PhD down when it focuses. And it went ahead and did its thing. So we're going to take a 360-second image. I hope to have a total of 14 hours or so when I'm done. I took 14 last night. We're already by the way, I'm going to take you over to PixInsight in a minute. Let's make sure. Okay, we're counting down. This is our first image. Our guiding's going okay. First image is coming in. We've cooled, we focused this kit, which is Astro 2. It's the Vixen with the one-shot color ASI 533 camera. And I'm going to take you over to PixInsight. And last night I worked on this image. This is where the tadpole, hang on a minute, you have some detail here. This is where, crap. Don't know what I've done to PixInsight, but if I continue to clock here, yeah, there we go. These are the 2 tadpoles in this region, and what I did is I took this image into Photoshop, and let me go into Photoshop, and this is the image in Photoshop. And after I applied some luminosity mask in order to bring out the blue color, and the red. But this is 7 hours of imaging time with the 533 camera. I haven't done anything with the other flame. I just was more curious to see what I could get out of this image. This is the M42, the Orion, a very familiar nebula, M42, and I also wanted to see what the 533 camera could do with just the UV IR cut filter shooting right near the moon. So last night, no, 2 nights ago, I took forgot how many, about 30, I believe about 30 120 second, I can't remember, but they were 120 second images at gain 100, offset 12 on the ASI 533 camera with a UV IR cut filter. That is it. And I was shooting Orion, which was where the moon was, well, not in a good place. And I was just curious to see if I could pull in some stuff worth working with. And so I was very impressed. And I told an online friend and a member of the Roper Mountain Astronomy Club, who also owns this camera, that I owe him for using the camera. And as I mentioned, I just kept it, regretting its purchase, until I saw his data coming out. And then another online friend, Chuck Aub, who is up in Michigan, said that he has a great love for the camera. And so I thought, well, take off the mono. And so I was using 2 ASI 1600 mono cameras, one for the kit, for each kit, and I took it off, and lo and behold, put it on, and I'm excited. And one of the things that's really kind of intriguing me now is that I don't do mosaics, because since I only use mono cameras, I am rarely have the nights to image, take a 4-panel or more mosaic when you got at least 3 filters per panel if you're in narrowband, and so you need multiple nights of that. And it's just, in order to put that mosaic together, you've got an investment in clear sky nights, which I don't have a lot of, and you have an investment obviously in post-processing time, because these kits all require drizzling. And if you drizzle an image and you take it into post-processing, that images are twice the size, and so it takes longer for each of the processes to run its course. So it's just an aggravation. So with this 533, I'm looking forward to taking some mosaics, particularly of the Milky Way region, where it's just rich in nebulosity, and put a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 vertical images together, and kind of get some detail and some color in the region of the Milky Way when that is in the sky in several months. Okay, guys, you now have, let's go back over to our, have we taken our first image? Yes, we have. It doesn't look good. In fact, this was the plate saw image. We haven't. It's 14 seconds. I was going to say, we're in trouble. Let's see what PhD is doing. We're at 74 RMS. That works. Let's go back to our image. This is really important since I'm at 360 seconds. Okay, here's our first image, and we're dithering right now, so let's see what we got. And keep in mind, this is in light polluted skies over Spartanburg. So I see the data, and it's faint, but I will be stacking a total of 14 hours of this together and I'll go back to my low stretch. Let's see how my stars are looking. Okay. Wonder if they're saturated. Let me bring up my image statistics. I have a medium of 868 ADU, and this star is not saturated. Maximum 53,000, so that's good. So far so good. That kind of will take us through both kits, and I'm going to sign off. Let me see what I'm doing here and make sure we got our cooling, we have our focus on both of them, there is no filter, PhD's running. Let me bring up Pegasus power box, and we're pulling 2.1 amps. It's currently 46 degrees, humidity 77, so we don't have, our dew point is 39, so we don't have any moisture out there yet, but I can pull up, I can show you where the temperature is dropping and the dew point's going up, and when those two collide, you can count on it. There's either going to be frost on the ground or moisture on my kits. So it does look like we're going to have, which is not abnormal for us in this part of the country. And we have if I ever run into problems with my ports, for example, I'll have a COM port, maybe my focuser's not activating and it's not the COM port, then I just go over here and recycle these COM ports, and that usually fixes it. These ultimate power boxes, my goodness, I don't know what I'd do without them. Cameras on one, mounts on one, focusers one, flat panels on another. Here's my dew heaters. They're turned up, but they're not all the way up because they don't need to be. We don't have dew yet. As soon as the sensor shows that those two lines have met, these dew heaters are ramped up to maximum in order to keep my kits dry. And each kit has its own separate ultimate power box. So we'll go over here to the second kit and bring up that power box, and we'll make sure we're still dealing with the same environmental graphs, power graphs. You can actually control your focuser from this if you use a well, I can control my focuser whether I use the Pegasus focuser or my Moonlight, but I can control the focuser very easily here without having to go to the power box, so I do. Okay folks, well, I'm going to bid you an evening. This is the time of year where I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday season, Christmas and Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. If you're of faith, please keep in mind and consider any help that you can give the folks in Kentucky. My wife and I have brought supplies to our church, which is sending a truck off Sunday to Kentucky. They're asking for toiletries primarily for this truckload, but I know they need everything. Those folks have lost everything. There are a lot of broken souls, and just praying for a renewal and fast recovery and good health for all of the people there that have went through this horror. And our hearts go out to them. So folks, if you don't mind, before I say goodbye, Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like this if you will, and appreciate it if you could, and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified the next time I go live. Catch you guys later, and clear skies.